McCain had 0 career playoff starts. He scored 18 in one half. 90 minutes before tip-off in Game 5, Jalen Williams was ruled out. Ajay Mitchell was already out. Oklahoma City needed a 5th starter for the closing game of the Western Conference Finals. The name on the lineup card was Jared McCain. Acquired from Philadelphia at the February deadline, 8.8 points per game across 12 playoff appearances, every one of them off the bench. 18 of his 20 points came after halftime, 3 made threes, first career playoff start. The defending champion is now 1 loss from elimination. The only thing the chalkboard did was add a 5th shooter. Let's start with the lineup card. Western Conference Finals Game 5, Oklahoma City home floor, series tied 2-2, 1 win from the finals. 90 minutes before tip-off, Jalen Williams is downgraded to out, Ajay Mitchell already out, Mark Daigneault has to find a 5th starter. The natural substitute is a defensive wing or a secondary playmaker. Both of those San Antonio's drop coverage absorbs cleanly. Daigneault did not pick the natural substitute, he picked the 5th shooter. Jared McCain, acquired from Philadelphia at the February deadline, 8.8 points per game across 12 playoff appearances, every one of them off the bench. McCain is not a wing replacement. He is not a secondary playmaker. He is a corner 3 the Spurs scout had filed under off the bench, sample too small to drop coverage off. The first half played out the way the chalkboard predicted. 69 points for Oklahoma City, the best half of the series, 43.8% from 3, the best 3-point game of the series. But here is what the box score did not say. How much of that came from McCain? It did not yet. McCain's first half was quiet, 2 points. The number that made the spacing work was the number San Antonio had to honor, not the number McCain had cashed. The Audible was a coverage trap. The trap had not sprung. And the deepest cut is this. The Spurs did not adjust at halftime. They could not. Drop coverage is a scheme, not a player matchup. San Antonio walked out for the 3rd quarter still in drop. The trap was set for 2 more quarters. 0 career playoff starts, 18 in one half. That is not a heat check. That is what happens when a defense built around one rim protector is asked to defend both the rim and the corner with the same player. Wemby is the league's most efficient drop defender at the rim. As long as he stays at the rim, he erases Gilgeous-Alexander's drives. The corner 3 is the lever that pulls him off the rim, not a closeout, not a switch. The mere presence of a 5th shooter the Spurs scout had not modeled forces Wemby into a choice every possession. Stay in drop, concede the corner 3, or step up to the elbow, concede the rim. For 3 quarters, San Antonio chose the corner. McCain made 3 threes. All 3 came in the second half. For 1 quarter, San Antonio tried to choose the rim. Wemby crept above the free throw line. Shea averaged a layup every time he did. The drop coverage that has held all series fractured into 2 equally bad outcomes. 1 rim protector, 2 impossible duties. The Spurs picked one. They got punished by the other. They picked the other. They got punished by the first. And there is the second-order consequence the box score buries. The Spurs' off-ball defenders, watching Wemby yo-yo between 2 assignments, started overhelping on every Shea touch. That left Chet Holmgren in single coverage on the weak side. Holmgren's rolls suddenly had 3 feet of space they had not had since Game 2. The Audible was supposed to replace Jalen Williams. It re-architected the entire Oklahoma City offensive shell. Now let's run the ledger on McCain. Before Game 5, 12 playoff games, every one of them off the bench. 8.8 points per game, 5 to 8 shots per appearance. That is the tape San Antonio's video staff watched. 12 games of building a scouting report that said this: McCain in a closing lineup in a starter's role against a drop coverage anchor. Sample size 0. Trust the average. In Game 5, first career playoff start. Inserted as the 5th shooter in an emergency Audible, 20 points, 3 made threes, 18 of those points in the second half. Career playoff starts entering Game 5, 0. Career playoff starts exiting Game 5, 1. And it ended in a 13-point series-shifting win. The number that matters more than the 18 is the 12. 12 playoff games of off-the-bench tape. The trust broke in one half. Here is the steel man the verdict has to demolish. An opposing analyst could watch the same tape and say this: 8.8 points per game reserve scores 20 points in a hot half. That is variance. That is a closeout game adrenaline spike. That is one shooter on a heater that San Antonio could not have prepared for and cannot prevent in Game 6. The steel man is not crazy. It is the most natural read. 3-point shooting variance can move a single game by 15 to 20 points. 3 makes from one shooter in one half is statistically a possible cold versus hot oscillation. The verdict has to prove this was structural, not random. Same player, new lineup card, new chalkboard. So here is the question the chalkboard is forcing. Was this McCain on a heater, or was this Mark Daigneault on a lever? The steelman says heater. The Spurs will switch the screen, top lock the corner, and McCain shoots 1 of 7 in Game 6, when Wembanyama and the home crowd take care of the rest. The steelman fails because the mechanism is not the player, it is the geometry. The Spurs can adjust in Game 6, they can top lock McCain, they can switch the pick, they can soft hedge instead of drop. Every one of those adjustments comes with a cost. Top locking the corner concedes the back cut. Switching the pick puts Wembanyama on Gilgeous-Alexander. The matchup Oklahoma City has dreamed about all series. Soft hedging concedes the pull-up jumper San Antonio's drop has been preventing all year. The role inversion did not just give Oklahoma City a hot shooter, it gave Mark Daigneault 3 lethal Game 6 counters. 2 coaching staffs walked into Game 5 with the same scouting report on McCain: 12 games, 8.8 points per game, off the bench. Both saw the same number. Only one staff asked what if that number is the wrong number to defend. Mark Daigneault asked it 90 minutes before tip-off with 2 starters ruled out. Greg Popovich did not have the chance to ask it until after the second half scoreboard read 38 more for Oklahoma City. 3 coverages on San Antonio's clipboard. Zone 1, the scout sheet, pre-game 5. McCain off the bench, 8.8 points per game, not a closing lineup concern, drop holds. That coverage is dead. Zone 2, the 5th shooter audible. McCain's corner gravity pulls Wembanyama 14 feet off the rim. Drop coverage fractures into 2 impossible duties. Zone 3, the Game 6 board. 3 counters now live on Oklahoma City's clipboard. Top lock concession, switch concession, hedge concession. The Spurs pick 1. Oklahoma City punishes the other 2. 3 coverages, 3 Oklahoma City counters waiting. The chalkboard does not have a 4th. Game 6 is tomorrow night at Frost Bank Center. San Antonio gets the home floor, the home crowd. 48 hours to rebuild a coverage for a player whose game tape is now exactly 1 start long. Oklahoma City gets to run the same audible, or not, force the Spurs to defend a ghost. The chalkboard belongs to whichever staff figures out first whether the corner gravity was real or a one-night accident. We find out in less than 30 hours